Good morning, Year 5s. It is a drizzly, grey Thursday. Apparently it's June. Doesn't really look like it or feel like it. And I had to put the light on this morning because it was too dark. What is that about? Right, let's get cracking with today's maths. Ooh, I'll move my pad. There we go. So, we should be nailing this stuff now. So 231 is Roman numerals. So we've got 200, so 2 C's. 31, so that's going to be 10, 20, 30. Oh, lovely. What is this Roman numeral? Well, we've got 2 M's there. So that's 2,000. 5, 6, 700. X, which is 10, and then 2 I's, there you go. And then what is this inner Roman numeral? So we've got 3,405, so 3,000, I might run out of room here. Oops, 3,000, 400 is, well, 4, remember, is the one where you have to do the one before. So is 100 before 500, so 100 before 500. 0, remember, is not a thing. There wasn't a place value at that point. They used it, their number system just didn't use it. 5. Okay. 12 and 2 sevenths is the same as how many sevenths? So we need to get our 12s on here. So 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Always sounds weird when you go there. 72, 84. And then your extra 2, 86. Convert this one to a mixed fraction. So obviously we're going to be in thirds. So how many 3's in 51? Ooh, right, so, well, there's 12 3's make 36. So 12, 13 is going to be 39. 14 is going to be 42. 15 is going to be 45. 16 is going to be 48. 17, oh, it's going to be 51. So, it is 17. Ooh, that was nice. And then this last one here, we've got to add these 2 decimals, but we've got 2 different denominators here. So we need to make sure that they're the same denominator. Now, you should be able to notice that 5 and 20, they relate, they're in the times tables, but you can't divide 5 by 4. You can divide 20 by 4, that'll make 5, and that's what we'll get. But you can't do anything with this. So we're going to have to increase this one. So to get that one to 20, we're going to have to times it by 4, which means we're going to have to times this one by 4. So 12, 24, 36, 48. There we go. So now we've got 48. And 5. So, as a improper fraction, your answer is going to be 48 and 5, which is going to be 53. As a mixed fraction, you're going to have, well, how many 20s are in 53? Well, you can get to 40, so 20, 40, that's 2. And then you can have from 40 to 53, or 40 to 50 is 10, and then another 3. To 13, so 2 and 13 20ths. Lovely. And then the last one, I left one challenge really in the area perimeter volume 1. Can a square have the same perimeter and area? Prove it. Now, I wasn't expecting you to just kind of know this. This was one that probably needed exploring. But remember, your logical steps. So, go through the number system. Now, you could be a bit cheeky, and you could, but it wouldn't work. So start on 1. So the perimeter would be 4, but the area would only be 1 times 1. So that wouldn't work. What about 2? 2, 4, 6, 8, but 2 times 2 is only 4. So that one wouldn't work. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. 3 times 3 is 9. Nope, at the moment this isn't working. Well, we're not proving it. The system's working. What about 4? 4, 8, 12, 16. 4 times 4 is 60. Boom. So it can. Now, it doesn't say find all the possibilities. It just says, can it? So, yes, there is an example. It can. Lovely. Right, on to what we're looking at today. So, hopefully, this week we have been getting to grips with the percentages from phone calls that me and Mrs. Croft have had. You seem to be grasping the percentages quite well. You sound quite happy, the majority of you, with this, which is really good to hear. Because this isn't something that we've looked at in Year 5. We didn't get a chance to explore this yet. So today, you'll notice it's a very similar grid to Monday, but the numbers are different and the percentages are different. And you might be looking at those percentages going, ooh, now then. And you've got every right to. We've been looking at 5, 10, 20, 25, 50, 75, how they all link, how you can halve it, add them together quite quickly, and normally quite quickly in your head, to be fair, depending on the number. But with these ones, for example, 37%, with the strategy you've been doing, you'd have to find 10%, times it by 3, find 1%, or 5%, and then add the 1, it's too much, okay? Too much. So, there's a little trick to finding the percentage of anything. Now, before you go, why didn't you show me this before? It's because sometimes it's quicker to do, like, 10% and add 15%, or 10% and 5%, and that's how I get 15, okay? Sometimes that is quicker with the number you've got. So I'm giving you, like, 2 ways to do this, depending on the type of number. So, what have we got on that first one? 320, and I'm going to show you. So, we've got 320, and we need to find 37%. I'm not going to do all of them. What I'll do is I'll do another answer sheet. 29% and 42. I'll just do the first couple. Okay. Now, like I say, with all these numbers, with all these percentages, I mean, with that one, you could argue you could find 10, times it by 3, and also find 1 and take it up. But again, there's too many calculations going on. There's too many steps where you could go wrong. So, here's a little trick. To find the percentage of any number, that's right, any number, you divide the number you're working with by 100. You find 1%. So 1% is 3.2 because you've divided it by 100. Okay? If you find 1%, but you want 37%, what do you think you do? I know I've got 1 now. I've got 1 piece. Now I need 37. You multiply it, don't you? Okay? So, you do 37 multiplied by 3.2. Remember, our thing with our decimals, we'll worry about it at the end. So, 7 times 2, 3 times 2, there we go. We're done with the 2 now, so let's make sure we are doing 7 times 30. So 7 times 3 is 21, 3 times 3 is 9, add 2 is 11. And we'll add them all up. 4, 8, 1. There we go. But remember, we've got one number after the decimal. So one number after the decimal in our answer. So 37% of 320 is 118.4. Now, even if you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I've done that wrong or not, you can have a bit of a guess, can't you? Because you know 10% is 32. You know half of 30, you can work out half of 32, that's going to be 16. So half would be 116. So a half would be 160. So, and you're not there, you are less than half. So in an estimate kind of thinking, that looks right. And that's literally it, guys. Which is why I've been making sure that you can do long multiplication and doing decimals. So that when we get to this point, you go, oh, is that all I do? Yeah. So if you've got a percentage that is not, easy to do by doing 10% or halving it and adding 20%, find 1% of it and times it by the percentage. What people get confused with is some people try and divide the percentage and times it by that. No. Find 1% of the amount and then times it by the percentage. So let's have a look at this one as well. We don't obviously need the percentage there, I'm just making it easier. So 9 times 2, 18. 2 times 2 is 4, 1 is 5. Let's get rid of that. 9 times 3, 27. And 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8. Add it all up. 8, 7, 5 is 12, 9. But we've got our 1 digit. So the answer is 92.8. There you go. And that'll be the same for the others. So, you know, you all know how to divide by 100, or you should be able to divide by 100. We've done it for long enough, year 4 and year 5. So find 1% of these. Don't forget that one will be 0.34. So you'll have 2 numbers after the decimal, and that one, to be fair. There's a couple here. And then you're multiplying them by this, but by these percentages. What I might do every so often is especially the do nows next week, I'm going to dip in a percentage like this, but then also a percentage like we've had this week, because what I don't want you to do is just always find 1% and times, because, you know, if you're finding 20% and you think, oh right, 1% times by 20, that's a calculation you don't need to do. Find 10%, double it. That's a lot quicker. So, you know, we're at that stage of maths in our lives where one strategy can work, but there are sometimes quicker ways, and that's what you've got to start deciding. I'll pause it there, because what I'll do is I'll write these answers out for us now, and you can check your work. But hopefully that was pretty straightforward for you, because, you know, we should all be fine with our long multiplication, and we should be fine finding 1%. So good luck with that, and I hope you do well with it and realise this isn't that tricky at all, really. We've got the skills.